And today is June 3rd, 2023, and today we're at South Shore, Kentucky, and we're at the Rotary Park. And one thing I do want to mention is this is donated by SFI, New Boston, Ohio, even though we're in South Shore, Kentucky. Alright, hello everybody, hope you're doing well. Today I'm in South Shore, Kentucky, and I'm going to go see the Indian Head Rock. So come along, let's take a look at the boulder. And at South Shore, Kentucky, they have cigarettes as low as $3.79 per pack at the local Super Quick. And the Indian Head Rock has an enclosure that they've built so people won't be able to get onto it and perhaps damage it any further. And the Indian Head Rock is an 8-ton sandstone boulder which had rested at the bottom of the Ohio River until September 2007, when it was retrieved by a group of local divers. And the recovery of the submerged rock, which was the subject of local lore since the 1800s, was celebrated by Ohio and Kentucky residents in the months that followed. City of Portsmouth, Ohio officials had planned to display the Indian Rock in a manner appropriate for the preservation of the historic boulder. And this boulder actually caused a lot of friction between Kentucky and Ohio, and the interstate dispute led to charges being brought against the divers and his fellow divers in a suit demanding the rock be returned to Kentucky. Legal issues were resolved in 2010 and the rock was returned. From 2010 to 2020, the rock was stored in a county highway maintenance garage. In September 2020, it was placed in a small roof structure enclosed with a chain link fencing, and that is where we're at right now. And this particular rock is 8 feet long by 4.8 feet wide and has a 5 feet height. And this rock does have names and initials carved in it from the 1800s and 1900s. In 2007, it was discovered in the Ohio River, Kentucky side, opposite Portsmouth, Ohio, River Mile 355.3. And we have etymology. The name Indian Head Rock comes from a carving on the bottom of the boulder with the features of a human face. It has been theorized that the face was carved by a Native American. And there is another theory that the face was actually carved by John Book from Portsmouth, Ohio, who later fought in the Battle of Shiloh. And other theories that include that a band of robbers used it to mark their nearby stash, and that a quarryman carved the face with a metal device. And the first known reference to the Indian Head Rock was to use it as a gauge of the Ohio River. A log kept by a local resident recorded the river's stage with reference to various points on the rock. The mouth or the eyes of the carving, or the top of the rock, 1849, September 23, top of rock 2.5 inches underwater. And 1851 through September 27th, eyes to be seen, the lowest measure on a record from 1839 to this date. And in 1854, September 5th, mouth just on the water line, therefore lower than since 1839. So it's quite interesting that they would use this rock as a gauge to see how high the actual Ohio River was becoming by measuring from the eyes to the mouth. That's pretty interesting. And on October 17th, 1891, it was reported that the boulder was nearly exposed. If anyone wants to see the Indian Rock 10 or 12 feet from the water's brink, he will see a huge rock through the now transparent water, with a backbone formation extending perhaps an inch above the water. And on July 26, 1851, a Portsmouth newspaper reported that the river is now within 3 inches of the Indian Head. This mark is the outline of the human head engraved upon a large rock, now but a few feet from shore. The story credited to the carving to pioneers who cut it for a low water mark. And one thing I have noticed is a lot of birds within the actual enclosure. All right, that was the Indian Head Rock. Hope you enjoyed that. Pretty interesting history there. So if you don't mind, please subscribe, leave comments, ring the bell, whatever you like to do there. And most of all, thank you so much for watching. All right, bye-bye.